You're in the show. Everyone can see you and hear you.
It's supposed to be live now, but I don't see our faces.
I see all you guys. It says live up in the corner.
No, I'm not on here. I'm trying to look on Facebook to make sure it carries through.
Oh.
It's not showing it. It'll show like I'm like mid picking my nose or something. I'll be like, oh, there it is.
That's my luck.
That's how it goes. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Your nails look a lot better than mine do, though.
What'd you say? My nails are a lot longer.
A lot better for it than mine do.
I feel like I could point to my brain with these things.
Jeez.
All right. So that's up and going there. This should be going here, and we should be ready to rock and roll.
All right.
I'm trying to find it. Where are we? Because if I leave it open on my laptop, it'll keep dinging. But if I have it open on my phone, it won't.
Oh, does it show it on the phone?
It should. Why is this so? See, I took a vacation from this stuff, and my brain turned into mush. Yep, it's on the phone. I'm gonna turn it down so I don't have to hear my voice or anybody else's, and we're good to go.
All right. I don't see it.
All right, now let me. You don't see it? It's. Hold on, I'll share and tag you in it right now.
Okay.
Everyone can watch us be. Look, Chelsea's already in here. Hi, Chelsea.
How do you see that there's people?
It pops up. It shows one right here, and she typed in the chat, hello. I'm pointing like you could see, obviously.
It's right there.
Oh. Oh. I was in the private chat thing, so I had no idea.
All right, let's see. Where's this at? It still has our faces. All right, I've also shared it on my personal feed. Can you see it?
Let me look.
See if I can.
Oh yeah.
I'll tag you right now.
Yep, I see it.
You see it?
You're pointing up like this.
All right, cool. So we're good to go there. That works. Now how do I get back there? I feel like an old lady. I am an old lady, but all right. So we're gonna jump in and have a few minutes of weirdness, but now that everyone's on and we're good to go and we're live. Hello everybody, my name is Lacey, so Alex Pizza, and I have Travis and Mike with me, the guys from the band Shapeshifter. So give a little hello, guys.
How you guys doing?
Hi.
All right, so we're gonna jump into this right now. Give us a little rundown on when you guys formed and what was the inspiration behind the band name.
When was it that we formed exactly, Mike? It's going on 2 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 2020.
Yeah, that makes sense. 2020 makes sense. It was somewhere in 2020. What had happened actually?
And then we.
No, keep going, Mike.
Yeah, sorry. Pretty much, I hit up one of the deathcore Facebook pages, just kind of looking for vocalists because I've always kind of tinkered with music, with recording myself, stuff like that, and just said, hey, I'm looking to start a project. Is anybody interested? And that's when Travis reached out to me. I had like a bunch of people reach out to me, but Travis was kind of the only one that stuck. And from there on, that's how it's been ever since. And Travis came up with the name. I don't even know how he came up with it. How did you, Travis?
So there's actually a band that I followed pretty religiously. Back, not necessarily back in the day. I still listen to them now. They're called Call the Mothership. They're actually broken up now, but I had made pretty close friends with the singer Sven, and he's a great guy. He's a great friend of mine. I talk to him all the time. They have a song off of one of their albums that was called Shapeshifter, and it was one of my favorite songs on the album. So I had decided that after Anunnaki broke up, the last band that I was in, that I was going to start my own project called Shapeshifter. and it was just kind of like a thing that was supposed to be a solo project at first. But I didn't know how to track myself on guitar very well in the DAW, so it didn't go anywhere. But then as soon as Mike approached me, and like we kind of collaborated on that one song, which is now released, called Hiding in the Deep. It was our first single that we released. I suggested it to him when we were trying to come up with a band name. He loved it. I loved it. It just kind of stuck, and here we are now. So
that works out. Your musical influences. A lot of times you can hear it coming out in the music that you play. I mentioned one the other day to you that I heard. Can you list off some of your musical influences?
you go first, Mike.
As he says.
Yeah. A lot of the influences I do is just stuff I listen to on the daily. I listen to a lot of deathcore, a lot of metalcore, a lot of old stuff. So like, of course, Slipknot's one of my favorites. They were like the first metal band I ever found when I was a kid, younger and all pent up, full of anger, and that just clicked with me, and just the feel it gave me. And like Whitechapel, Carnifex, a lot of metalcore. Train the Martyrs was huge for me too when I found them. I think they're from France, and music, but not a lot. I try to be original as I can. Travis kind of harps on me because it's a little chaotic in the writing, but he always tries to kind of guide me to where I should go and what I should do, or I should do this here and do that there. And, I'm trying to balance and keep him happy and do what I want to do. And it's actually worked out really well for both of us, I think. And we've come a long way from where we were at. But yeah, as far as influences, that's pretty much it.
As for you, Travis?
As for me, I would say that, obviously being the vocalist of the band, I have a lot of influences, in other vocalists. And Alex Kohler, he was always a big one for me. I seen Chelsea Grin when they were, just starting out at our local venue that is probably closed down now. I don't even know. It's been years. Mitch Lucker, he was obviously one of the greatest influences that I could ever imagine to have. There's been a lot of influences. I can't do lows very well, so I don't really pull inspiration off of too many people. But Dan Watson, I've always followed him as well. And my music just kind of circulates around that. I listen to deathcore most of the time, but lately I've just been kind of trying to chill myself out, because if I listen to, my daily listen is always Bad Omens. I go to Bad Omens. I've been listening to them for years. The way that they flow their vocals, the way that they do their melodies, the way that they just structure their vocals and their lyrics and everything else, it's a lot different than what I do. And I've been trying to pull a little bit of inspiration in my writing from that, because I've always had an issue with structure. I will follow the guitar beat. I will follow the drum beat. I will follow the BPM of that song to a T. That's why in our first album, 90% of the songs I was doing super fast vocals, like you wouldn't even be able to perform them live. But I did it because I felt like that's how I needed to structure my vocals in the song. But Mike has gotten on me a bunch about trying to break up the way that I do my vocals and the way that I write my lyrics, so that everything's a little bit more slower and structured and has a better flow. So that's been something that I've really been practicing on lately, is like having a better flow.
That's a good thing to have. And it gives you time to take a minute and breathe, rather than just belting it all out at once and kind of forcing it all in there. Real quick, I'm going to look at the comments. Lauren says, hey. Tatiana says, hey. And Chelsea replied to what you were mentioning and your influences. She said that she hasn't listened to Chelsea Grin in a minute.
Chelsea Grin is fantastic. Fantastic. I'll always love Chelsea Grin. I don't care what anybody says.
Now, to add on to that, what is your guys' one guilty pleasure artist? It could be anyone.
Oh, Phil Collins. Phil Collins.
All right.
Eddie Money and the Backstreet Boys.
Okay, I like the Backstreet Boys too.
There you go. Do a little deathcore spin on Backstreet's Back.
We could definitely
We
do
should.
something like that. I remember though, when I was younger, when I had first gotten my license, I had a shitty old car, and me and my buddy Joe, we would do circles in the parking lot of McDonald's. My car had fake spinners on it, and we had all the windows down, blaring Miley Cyrus's "Party in the USA," just to annoy everybody in town. But it was the
Yes,
greatest.
yes, that is the best song ever. That's my guilty pleasure.
Just can't help myself.
All right, so we're gonna go jump into some of the funner things. Like I mentioned earlier when we were going through the run through, as usually I pull a couple songs and ask you more in detail about it, but this time I wanted to switch it up and have you guys try to like almost like style pitch to the viewers on what two songs you're the most proud of and why. That you guys have the floor.
I'll take one song,
Okay.
Mike, and you can take the other, okay?
Well, if there was one song, I guess the one song I'd have to talk about right now is Witch Hunt. And that's our newest release that actually came out on Slam Worldwide. And I told Travis, as I said, if you would have told me the most feedback we got on was on that song, and you told me that 3 months ago, I would have laughed because I had no idea. I mean, I was up late one night. I remember I wrote that song. I sent it to Travis. I was like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "No, this is it. This is good." So I was like, "Okay, well, let's run with it." And then Travis threw vocals on it, and then we had our feature on there. And man, like I every time I listen to it now, it just gets better and better to me. And it's just hard to sit there and think, man, we made that. Like, that's kind of cool. You know, it's really cool. And it's kind of cool to check yourself like that when, like I tell Travis all the time, I'll listen to our stuff and just be like, man.
I think he cut out.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
What was the
He'll be
ending of
back.
that you said, Mike?
I think he full on froze for a minute.
I'll give him a couple more seconds.
All right.
He straight up froze. Look at him.
I know.
All
He's
right, so
pixelated a little bit.
I'll just go ahead and I'll take over.
Okay.
Oh, yep, he's gone.
He'll hop back in. I'm watching it, so once he comes back in, I can just add him right to it.
Okay, cool. So I would sit here and say that if I had to sell anybody a song that we've dropped, it would have to be Hiding in the Deep. There he is.
I'm back. Sorry.
It would have to be Hiding in the Deep, specifically for the reason that's the entire reason why this band started. That was the first ever instrumental that Mike has ever sent me. And I hold that song very, very dear to me. I listen to it to this day all the time. The original version is actually on Spotify. It's like I said, it's the first release that we dropped. But then when we dropped the album, No Hope, No Heroes, I had actually went back and I retracked some vocals on quite a few of the songs. And that's one of the ones that I retracked the vocals on. And I actually added a feature in that song that nobody knows, but my daughter is in that song and she did a little snippet in that song. So I thought that was awesome. She was so embarrassed and excited about it, but that song will forever be my favorite song that we've ever dropped. And I don't care how much attention we get on this song, that song. Witch Hunt was phenomenal. Kyler Cheek did a great job with his feature. Dale Urban did amazing in the breakdown that we had at the end. You know, he did all the symphonic elements that are in the end of that. But at the end of the day, I will forever love Hiding in the Deep. That is the song.
That makes sense. It has a sentimental feel too. That's something that'll carry on forever, even as your daughter gets older. Like, it's still something you can revert back to. You guys can enjoy it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And for Mike, I know that we lost you for a minute. Do you want to pick back up where you left off? Or just restart, whichever one?
Yeah, so I had chosen Witch Hunt, and that was the one we just recently released, obviously. And like I told Travis before, if you would have told me Witch Hunt was going to be the song that we had the most attention with or most feedback with, I would have laughed at you 3 months ago. I had no idea, and every time I listen to it, it gets better and better. But Witch Hunt is definitely my favorite right now. There's a lot of songs that mean a lot to me. I think another one Travis knows this one very well and the stress it caused me, and he wants me to do it again. The 12 vocalist song we did, it's the longest song I've ever written, and now he wants to do like 24 vocals or something like that. So that one was fun. I got to work with a lot of good vocalists and hear their takes on how they would do music and or think they should run their vocals, and it was really cool. And that one's actually up on our Spotify as well, and I really like that song.
At the end of this, if you guys want, we can actually put your links up in the chat. That way people can go directly and look, so that'll work out. We're going to go ahead and sail on down to what you guys have currently in the work. What you guys got brewing.
Ooh, all right. So we're not going to spill a whole bunch of details, but we've got was it 12 songs? 12-song album. It's either 12 or 13 songs. I think it's 12 though. 12 songs that we're going to be dropping on this album. We tried to kind of follow a concept in a way, but it didn't really work out being the way that I wrote the lyrics. So our next album is going to have a nice little concept to it to be revealed later. But as for this song, we've got a feature on every single song. I decided with myself that, you know, if I'm a band that's not going to play live, if I'm going to be strictly online, I'm going to have as much fun as I can with this as I possibly can. So I have a feature on every single song vocally. I've got one in the works that I still need to put vocals on, and it is the last song for the album. It's going to feature one of my friends named Andy Burke, and Alex Paget. I can't remember his name. He's the singer of Cruel Intent. There's so many people that talk to me each day. I can't keep names straight. But we've got songs like Confessions is definitely going to be my absolute favorite on the album. We've got Dead Silence that's going to be coming out. We've got Patient Zero that's going to be dropping that has Jessica Ray Mello on it. She straight killed it with some zombie vocals because that song's supposed to be loosely based off of Resident Evil. The video games, not the horrible movies.
Hey, they want that
band. What other ones do we have? What other ones? What
the self-titled one.
The self-titled one.
Eating the Bones, man.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I thought you were talking about Shapeshifter. Yeah, we've got Eating the Bones dropping, and that has my absolute favorite vocalist of all time, which I didn't mention earlier. That has got Luke Griffin on it. Dale Urban also did one hell of a job doing all the orchestral and symphonic stuff that's in that song as well from start to finish. He killed it on that song. I'm super, super happy with the way that it turned out, and I'm just waiting on stems back now from Luke to get that finished up. Other than that, we've got quite a few other features coming on this album. We've got quite a lot of songs that we haven't really spoken about at all. Yeah. I've got Topher J Slams on there. I've got my buddy Brian's on there. It's going to be a good time. I think
Isn't John on there too?
What's that?
John's on there too, isn't he?
Yes, John's on there. So yeah, there's been a lot of songs in the works right now that we haven't spoken about a lot, and I think that once we finally drop this album, people are going to be mind blown. They think that Witch Hunt was big. They thought that Disembodied Voices was big. They're gonna have a whole lot of fun with this album when it drops.
Yeah,
that'll be really cool. I look forward to hearing it. While we're talking about that, you mentioned something about it being online. So you guys just primarily do stuff online and nothing in person?
I have never met Mike in person before.
Cody, never?
Yeah, never.
Cody is actually a good buddy of mine. He lives not that far from me in town. When I was like 20 or 21 and my parents moved out and I had the house to myself, it was mine. I had an entire band living with me, along with my girlfriend at the time, my daughter's mother. I had the entire band of Second Time Around living in my house. So there was a drum set up in my living room. Cody was playing on that. That was the first time that I ever met Cody, is because of that band, Second Time Around. My buddy Tyler, Kyler, all sorts of people. But yeah, so Cody's a good buddy of mine, but no, I've never been able to meet Mike. One day I will.
One day.
One day. just
When you guys like, it comes into like asking about upcoming shows. Do you guys plan on doing any live stream, or is it just going to be purely create content and post it?
We've talked about trying to figure some stuff out like that. We've talked about doing shows and finding some people to fill in some spots, and me going down to where Travis is at and doing a show or two. And I mean, it's all possible. It's not definitely out of the realm of no. If we get the chance to, we would.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
I'll definitely have to like write lyrics to a song that I can actually know that I can perform it live rather than dying on stage.
Just start dancing. Like, what did they have that one Ashley Simpson on Saturday Night Live where she starts doing this little jig? Just start doing a jig, you'll be all right.
I'll just start dancing on stage. Most likely
it'll all work out.
Off because I won't be able to breathe. So, I mean, that'll be that. Just throw water on it.
Well, while we're talking about shows and stuff like that, I wanted to bring in something and just weigh in you as a band. A lot of venues, I know that there's some locally here in Arizona that are actually taking a percentage out of merchandise sales that the bands make. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I say yeah, because they're providing the venue. I mean, I don't know the percentages. If we had a little more information on like what they're making off of foot traffic just for people showing up, and then how much they're taking from merch sales, I would say yeah, that's fine. I mean, it all depends really for me. If they're taking quite a good chunk, like 15%, I'd probably say no. But I mean, it's kind of a big gray area for me. I really don't know.
So I guess I can say that I weigh it a bit differently than that. So I don't know exactly the logistics of how it all works and everything, but sometimes bands have to pay to play at a venue. I know that, and it could just be from ticket sales, blah, 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 blah. But I know that the venue makes money off of the ticket sales, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they already make money off of, because a lot of the times a venue has a bar. They're already making money off the bar. And believe me, they make enough money off of me at the bar.
True.
But when it comes down to taking a percentage off of the merch, I don't think that's cool, because at the end of the day, if we provided merch and we brought merch to a show and we were going to be, selling that merch, we bought that merch so that we could sell it to our customers, our fans, whoever wants to buy them. I don't think the venue should have to take money off the top from that. No, they can. No, I think they're already getting enough attention. They're already getting enough bands that are coming in. They're getting all this foot traffic, like Mike mentioned. At the end of the day, if they're not playing a show and they have an open bar, they're still going to have that going for them. I don't think that they should take percentages off, but I've also never run into that question or run into that situation either. I've never really put much thought into it, but I guess off the top of my head, that would be my opinion.
It's something that I've been reading and I've noticed around, and it's always sparked my curiosity on what musicians think of that, because personally, I agree. Like, when you do ticket sales alone, you don't see a lot of that as a band. So much gets cut that everyone has their hands in it. You don't get as much as what a lot of people on the outside think that you get. And what you said is right. A lot of times you have to pay to be in there. So when it comes to the merchandise sales, like, they have no tie in that. They're not the ones producing it. They're not the ones shipping it or bringing it out to the people. They're not the ones working the booth. So I agree. Like, they shouldn't be taking a chunk out of that. But it just, and a lot of these that I've seen, the venues, like, they're high traffic venues where they make money hand over fist. They don't really need to have that additional, 25, 50% for what you're doing. And I noticed that some bands are even now, like, just selling out of their van. Like, they just sit in the parking lot and sell it out that way because they're like, nope, we're not paying that. And I give them, my hats are off to them for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and think about it too, is if they're taking a cut and the band knows it, the band's going to raise their prices, and that's just going to affect the customer.
Yeah. Depending on the band, I'm not going to go and spend $30 on a shirt at for a band that I don't even really recognize. So, like, I'm not going to go to a show and sell our merchandise. A simple T-shirt, I don't care what it's got on it. I'm not going to sell it for $30 because I'm not going to buy it for $30. Now, no. if it's Ice Nine Kills, it's a little different. But if it's our stuff, 10, $15 at absolute most. But there is also the fact that the venue may or may not be paying said bands to play there. Now you bring Lorna Shore, and Lorna Shore is going to make money. Shapeshifter, $100 maybe, if that. My good buddy's band right now, he was just telling me the other day, they're driving an hour and 15 minutes away to play at a show, and they're making $100 split between 3 to 5 guys. What, I get it though. I wouldn't really expect to make money if I were to play a show, because I do it for the love of the music. I don't care if I make any money off of it. I don't care if I sell any merch. I don't care if I make any money that way. I told our record label it just didn't matter to me. If people want to rep us, awesome. I don't care if I make money off of it. Put it towards our band. I don't care. But at the end of the day, like, I'm sure that there's a lot of bands that are worried about making the money off of it like that. So it's a different type of concern and different opinion. That's just how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah. Well, to kind of piggyback off this, one thing I told Travis when we first started this is, I don't want to make any money from it. I don't expect a career out of it. This is something I love to do. And if there's a chance that any of our music can affect somebody and they reach back out to us and tell us like, hey, that was really good, or I really like that song, like it made me feel this, or blah, 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 that right there is payment enough. That's all I want. And that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys are in it for the right reasons. I mean, making money, of course, is a bonus. Especially if you're traveling, you want to at least try to break even for what all you put into it.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-50, in my opinion, on stuff like that. I mean, doing it for the right reasons, doing it because it's something you're passionate about. And like you said, helping someone out is one of the key factors when it comes to doing music. But if you're traveling, you also got to try to make up for what you're putting in.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then I have Ronnie and Mo are on here. Hi, guys. And my daughter's on here. Well, she was. I don't know if she still is. All right. So we're going to jump into goals for 2023. I know you guys touched a little bit of what's coming up and what you guys have brewing. But is there anything else that you have planned or that you would like to try to achieve before the end of the year?
Other than starting on the new album, getting this album dropped and starting on the new album, me and Mike have been in talks a little bit about having another guitarist join us. It's not been a huge talk. It's been dropped, but that might be a slight possibility if we talk about it a little bit more. Somebody to kind of give us, like maybe a new sound for the new album, something like that. Maybe if some sort of awesome, turn of events pops up, we can actually maybe put on our first live show sometime this year. I've been trying to pull some strings on my end, in different directions. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it, but I know people that can fill in on the instruments. It would just be a matter of finding a show, finding somebody that would let us play, all the logistics that come behind it. So it's something worth talking about. But other than that, I mean, just dropping the album and starting the new album, pretty much that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
It works. Now we're going to go into a little Q&A from the viewers. So everyone that's watching, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. The guys will answer them. I'm going to start. We briefly talked before joining live. Current things that you guys love to watch TV show wise.
Oh, I'm stuck on Peaky Blinders. Like we mentioned earlier, I've been trying to finish off Peaky Blinders for over a month, and I can't get through it because I keep getting preoccupied with other things.
I fell back into the House and Scrubs wormhole. Went back in time.
I don't even know what that is.
What?
What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is it?
Scrubs. The show's called. There's a show called House, and then there's a show called Scrubs.
Oh, I thought you said House of Scrubs. I'm like, what is that? Like, what is that? Sorry, I misheard you. No. Yeah, they're two separate shows, House and then Scrubs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've heard of them. I've seen them. Peaky Blinders, never watched, haven't heard of up until it was discussed earlier today.
Yeah.
I do have one small thing to mention. It's completely off topic and not Shapeshifter related, but it's more personal related, if I'm allowed.
Go for it. So
tonight, I don't know what time zone, but 9 p.m. we're supposed to be dropping a song for my other project that I'm in, Trauma Club. The song's
Yeah.
called Pain. So if you check out my if you check out my personal Facebook, Brian's Facebook, the band Facebook, that song drops tonight on every streaming platform. I
You
had a
can add your link below too.
I would definitely do that.
Mhm.
I had a hell of a time recording vocals to that song. Me and Brian, we work really, really well together. I was really proud of myself for, kind of putting myself out there the way that I did with them. So it's big for me.
We kind of just jumped over the Q&A and went to their shameless plugs. It's all good. It's all good. We'll go right back to the Q&A. All right. Chelsea said not Peaky Blinders. And she also said she fell back into watching How I Met Your Mother wormhole.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though. If I could, because I don't know if it's on there or not, if I could go back and watch Nip Tuck all again, I probably would. Even though like it's irritating as all hell, I loved the show and I would go back and watch it again.
I've been watching trash TV. I'm not even going to lie. I call it trash TV. I've been watching all the different 90 Day Fiancés. I could binge watch those. No.
I really enjoyed watching what is that? It's the love show with the people that have like Downs or different disorders.
They have a show like that?
Yeah, there is. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what it's called, but
Chelsea, I know you're watching us right now. Throw it out there. Let us know what that show is.
Love on the Spectrum. That's what it's called. Love on the Spectrum.
Wow.
That's not Down syndrome. That's autism.
Oh, well, Down's still a disorder. It's a spectrum. It doesn't say love autism. So I'm not.
Well, autism is because they gauge it on a spectrum. I'm going to get personal for a minute because my son is autistic and gauge it on a spectrum. You have low functioning, you have high functioning. So you have like Asperger's and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why they call it love on the spectrum, because they understand in different levels.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. I thought yeah. I'm sorry. But I really loved it. It's super cute.
I haven't watched it. I think I've seen an advertisement for it. They had another one that wasn't called Love on the Spectrum, but they had another one on there that had to do with a kid or maybe a couple of kids on the spectrum, but it was like a regular show that they did. They did like a couple seasons. I forgot what it was called though.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
But I don't know. Serious stuff I don't really watch that much. Like I said, trash TV, horror movies, murder, that kind of stuff.
Or Cops. I watch a lot of Cops.
That's fun. It's fun to watch. I'm always afraid that one day I'm going to see somebody I know on there.
Yeah.
Don't watch it too closely.
Right?
Oh, there it is. Chelsea has it. The show I was talking about is called Atypical.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that.
It seemed okay. I watched a couple episodes, but I lose interest fast. If I see something that like I start to drift off to sleep too, I'm like, okay, we'll change it to something else. At least I'm honest.
Right.
Oh, there's far too many times that I fell asleep to Blade Runner 2049. So I just finished that movie just like last week. It is so long, but it's so good. But I fell asleep to it at least 7 times. I'm glad I own it.
I tried watching yesterday Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Dumbest horror movie I've seen in my life. And I've watched some real dime pieces, and that by far was up there with the worst. Have you watched it?
They're coming out with a movie based on like Pooh Bear, like a horror Pooh Bear or something like that.
I want to see that.
Isn't it supposed to come out this month?
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
The other one that isn't a horror movie, it just looks funny, is the Cocaine Bear. I want to watch that. That looks hilarious. I believe it's Ray Liotta's last feature film that he was in too.
Oh,
didn't you just mention that the other day? I think you said something about
who?
He was talking to me about Cocaine Bear. Somebody said something just like the other day about it.
I just seen the trailer for it today, and I was like, yes, it seems ridiculously hilarious, and I'm in for it. I think it's great.
Is it like Sausage Party ridiculous, or?
That's a good ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this then.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be good. All right, so left it open for questions. I think everyone's just chiming in on what we're talking about. So we'll go ahead and do like some of our shameless plugs if you want. You can go ahead and repeat what you just mentioned earlier in case.
Oh,
about the release that you're doing at 9. Yeah.
Yep. Today, sometime, probably now. I'm not sure. I've been on this and concerned about this, but yeah, we dropped a song. We're called the Trauma Club. The song's called Pain. It's on every streaming platform. It's fantastic. Me and Brian, we killed it, and I'm very, very proud of that song. I hope that everybody likes it. I hope you guys check it out. I'll try to leave a comment in here with the links to everything, and yeah, I'm excited to bring more stuff to you guys.
All right, and Mike, do you have anything?
I guess just a plug for the plugins that I use and all for my software is I do everything through Audio Assault. They hook me up and give me a lot of free stuff, so I want to give them a shout out and say thank you. I really appreciate it.
By them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep. We need to make that more apparent because I keep all about that.
You can always drop a link on them below as well. After we get done wrapping this up, I'll go ahead and explain how we put the links because in here we can't, but there's other ways we can do it.
Okay.
That works out. And then as for me, on Friday, I'll have another live with Athena McIntyre. I'll actually be running the advertisement for it this evening, so you guys will see it between tonight and tomorrow. And hopefully I'll let people know in the next day or two, but there might be a really cool, awesome announcement that I'll be tying in with 225, the end of this month. But until I know everything's locked in, that's the only details I'm going to give out for right now. But to everyone that's watching, thank you. And for future ones that will be watching because it replays, thank you guys. And to you guys, Mike and Travis, thank you for being on. Don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to end the broadcast and then we'll touch on a few things and then you guys can go. All right. Alrighty. But everyone else, thank you. And I'll see you guys on Friday.